Hey guys, we're going to do something a little bit different today. The other day I did a shave with very little commentary. That got me thinking, what if I did one with no commentary? Well, that would give me an idea of a very realistic something that I could tell people, hey, my shaves usually last, blah. I do a 3-pass shave, sometimes a 4, that sort of thing. And so I think that's what I'll do today. So we're going to have a little preface here where I describe everything and show it to you. But then from that point on, I'm pretty much not going to be using up time commentating so that we can subtract whatever that preface amount of time is from the total time of the video. And that's just a typical shave for me. So I thought I'd give that a shot. All right, plus the schedule of today necessitates kind of a shave on the quicker side. So that's another reason to do it today. Fatip, special edition, same one I've been using all month. Open comb, has the Piccolo handle, Nacet razor blade. I've got 300 dots on this one, and so I started making more dots on this index card. So 324 is today's shave. The soap, as usual, this month is Martin de Candre Vetiver. My current mass, since I started the 12 swirl method, it's loading less soap, but I'm getting enough passes to do the job nicely. In the beginning, I was probably using 1 gram of soap per load at the beginning of the month, but I hadn't dialed it in yet. I was loading way too much. Since I've leveled off at the 12, 11, swirls, it looks like maybe I'm looking at 1/4 of a gram per use, and that makes more sense. Earlier on, it was looking like it was something like sterling, where it was a 1/2 gram. But as you know, you get more data points and your data becomes more accurate. I did say at the time that was just a preliminary measurement, but just to tell you that the trend, as long as I stay in this range of 11 or 12 swirls, it does seem to be something like 1/3 to 1/4 of a gram, and it could improve as we go on. That's why we need lots of data points. All right, so Semogue Owners Club, Taj handle, bore brush. If today is the 23rd or 22nd or something like that, that means this brush has had 34 uses or something like that. So it's starting to get up there and get a good many uses, close to the top of any of the bore brushes I've had, since I've had so many in a rotation. All right, here's the top of the soap. Hey, if I tap and get a metering reading here, then maybe you can see it in more detail there. All right, very good. All right, and okay, we need to center. Oh, yeah, center the blade. Make sure and show you that I'm still chalking up uses on the same blade. So there's the 3 dots there, right above the S's, and there's a Gillette Nacet. And just for this experiment, for the use of this blade, for the life of this blade, for now at least, I am only shaving on. I'm not flipping the blade over. Those dots have always been toward the handle end of the razor. Let's check it for alignment. And Fatip is not the only one that you should check for alignment every time you use it. A lot of the DE89 type razors, the Parkers and Mercurs and those guys, Edwin Jaggers and stuff, you definitely need to check for alignment. Matter of fact, I recommend every razor you have, you check for alignment in the beginning until you see that it's aligning properly every time. Some of them are precision made and they will do that. You just don't have to worry about alignment. In fact, some of the old Techs and Gillette News and stuff, at each corner of the top cap, they had little posts that pointed back toward the blade, and that went into indentations, cutouts of the blade, and so that itself kept them perfectly aligned. Just another great feature of those vintage razors. All right. Okay, here we go. Now, of course, I've kind of set everything up. But anyway, we've got 5 minutes starting up right now. So we're going to go ahead and start the regular shave with no commentary now. water. Well, almost no commentary. No commentary that wastes time. Shake out the water, most of it. 11 swirls. Of course, I can talk during the lather building. Yesterday, I got 4 passes. I used 11 swirls, and it only needed 1.5 teaspoons of water. That was also because the duration between uses was 1.5 days. Today it's 24 hours, so it should be more normal. But my theory is that the water had time to soak into the soap and integrate more into the soap, and so it made that top layer of soap more hard than usual, and so the same number of swirls didn't pick up as much soap. Today is more like a 24-hour time frame, so I wouldn't be surprised if it needed a full 2 teaspoons or, whatever. MdC is not a high performance soap. It's adequate. It's good. But we've just got so many amazing soaps. So many soaps that are just at a higher level. The slickness of this one, it just doesn't really compete anymore compared to a lot of those other ones. And some of them are actually cheap. I mean, you've got Barrister and Man, Holy Cow, Noble Otter, that are expensive relatively. And you kind of expect them to be higher performance. But you also got ones like Sterling that and fine accoutrements that are wonderful performers at budget prices. So in relation to its peers, MdC is pretty overrated. But by itself, it's a good soap. It's a value soap, actually, because if I'm getting a quarter of a gram per shave, that's 2 teaspoons total. Then if I looked at the weights, I didn't do the math, but we're probably looking at $2 maybe per month. So that's really pretty good. And if I get more data points, its usage stats may actually come close to Sterling. But to me, it's got to exceed Sterling to where I start recommending it for people. Because if Sterling gives you the same economy, but a better lather and a much larger scent choice base, then it's, to me, clearly the better recommendation. All right. Nice soft tips. If you are stumbling across this video as the first one you've ever seen from me, normally I give a good bit of commentary and how-tos and things like that, so just check out pretty much any other video and you'll get those handy items, hopefully handy. I'm going to take some of this excess off because I think it's just going to end up with on my shirt if I don't. Definitely not a luxury soap. You rub it between your fingers and you just don't feel very much, even when I run it drier than usual. Yeah, it feels good on your face. Feels good with a good brush. And so maybe that's all that matters to you. Scent is not very strong when used at 11 or 12 swirl. Concentrations. It was pretty strong back when I was loading too much. 30-second load. 13 seconds was approximately a 3-second load, I think. All right. Oh, nice. Barely any tugging right there at all. Now, if I stretch my skin, I may experience less tugging, but here on my cheeks, that's just such a hassle. I just don't even bother with it. I get a great shave, but just kind of puffing out my cheeks, you know. A little more tuggy feeling on the neck, but it's always a more sensitive area, right? Keeping pretty much with the grain on the first pass. A little half rinse just to kind of rehydrate. Looks like we've got plenty of soap. So, you know, I think we're looking at a result of the fact of the moisture staying in the soap for 24 hours. You leave it for longer, it dries up more, or moves to other parts of the soap away from the surface, since it is capped. So I don't think it's really evaporating. Cross grain now. Yeah, even with this old blade, after the second pass, face feels really smooth. And 2-3 more passes left. So wouldn't it be funny if we kept going down, you know? Maybe I should switch to 10. Third pass. Definitely wetter lather since with this pass, because I left more water on my face. I could do 3 with the grain passes, and this side of my face over there would be fine. As in a nice close shave. But this part of my neck over here, different animal. And there we go, 3 passes. Now I didn't really start recording the, you know, as we subtract 5 minutes from the total, that doesn't include setup, which is probably 3 minutes for me. So I will go ahead. Oh yeah, my face is still kind of moist, so we'll use the balm Soap Commander Integrity Menthol-free, which is their unscented. MdC does have an advantage to some people, to some people's minds, in that it uses essential oils only, at least for maybe this scent, maybe all of them. That could be important to you. You may find a scent from them that you just really like. You may find that your dad used MdC, and so it's a sense of nostalgia and familiarity and home. I'm going to rinse my bowl out. And this also cleans out my brush. We'll sling out the brush in the sink to get rid of the excess water. Strop. Turning the wrist 90 degrees every once in a while to get flex in all directions. Give it plenty of air. Looking good. Balm is done. Cap up the soap. Put it away. The razor, I'm going to use it tomorrow, so I'll open it up a little bit. Give it a good rinse through. Shake. Put it up and away from kids since it still has the blade in it. Empty out my syringe. Brush soak cup. It's a yogurt container. Oui brand yogurt, OUI. I think it's just perfect for most brushes. It's narrower at the top. Put a dot on my index card. Dry out my lather bowl. Some people don't like lather bowls just because it's an extra piece of hardware to mess with. I can understand that, but it doesn't really take too much time. And I kind of enjoy it as part of the ritual. Okay, I have a washcloth over here to set wet things on. I put that away. Put my balm away. Razor's up and safe. Make my note for today. We did 11 swirls, 2 teaspoons of water. I ended up with 6 passes of lather. I think I can definitely move down. Try 10 swirls. How about that? Okay. And in that little book that I'm writing in the cover of it, there's a little pocket, and that's where I store my index card for next time. Everything's pretty much put away. And there we go. What's the time? It's almost 19 minutes. So if there was a 5-minute prefix, but let's say 3 minutes of that would have been set up. So we only need to subtract 2 from that. So 17 minutes is approximately my shave time if I'm not commentating and some thought doesn't come to my mind to kind of talk to you guys about. All right, well, there we go. Now we know, 17 minutes. All right, well, hey, you guys have a good day. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. I hope this video has helped you out in some way. Take care.